Factsverse presents Woman with cancer gets married, and 18 hours later, her new husband looks over and gasps. Help us out by clicking that like button, and also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. Heather and David met each other in 2015. They were both on a dance course when they met, and they both say that it was love at first sight. They had a wonderful and loving relationship, and David decided that Heather was the woman he wanted to spend the rest of his life with. On December 23, 2016, he decided to propose. He took Heather for a ride in a horse and carriage just as the sun was going down. Under the dim streetlights, he asked Heather to marry him, and she said yes. Sadly, their happiness wouldn't last. An unexpected surprise would change their lives forever. Earlier that day, Heather found a lump on her breast. She went to see the doctor and found out that she had a very aggressive form of breast cancer. The type that she had was so aggressive that even though she caught it early, it had already spread to various parts of her body. Their wedding date was set for December 30th, 2017, but because her cancer was spreading so rapidly and making her so sick, they decided to push up the date. Heather was very sick and had to remain hospitalized. On December 22nd, almost a year after having asked Heather for her hand in marriage, they got married. Heather had to remain in the hospital bed for the entire ceremony, but she didn't care. She just wanted to marry the love of her life. The couple's friends and family members showed up to help prepare for the ceremony. One of Heather's best friends, Christina Karas, was one of her bridesmaids, and she was also the photographer for the wedding. Heather was so weak that Christina says they were going to lay her dress over her like a blanket. Heather didn't like that idea, though. She wanted to marry her soulmate while wearing the dress. Christina and Heather's other friends helped, and finally they did get her into the dress. Next, they wheeled her bed to the chapel so that the wedding could begin. Heather was incredibly weak, and she struggled with each word of her vows. Everyone was patient because they knew how badly Heather wanted to recite her vows to David. The two said their vows to one another, and at last they were married. While she was saying her vows, the wedding guests had no idea that these words would be her last. This woman with cancer got married in a hospital, and 18 hours later, her new husband looked over and gasped. According to Christina, the wedding was bittersweet. Heather was finally married to the love of her life, and she had a beautiful wedding. After she recited her vows, Heather raised her arms. She knew that she was going to die, but she was happy. She just wanted a lovely wedding and then a party afterwards. Everyone knew that these moments would probably be the last that they would ever spend with Heather, and they all cried. She says that for David, the day was dampened by pain and heartache, but more than anything, he felt it was filled with love. He says that he saw her illness, he saw her pain, but he and Heather never gave up until the two were married. David says it's amazing how much you can love one person. It was just 18 hours after Heather said "I do" that she took her last breath. She was only 31 years old. Heather's funeral took place at the Plantsville Congregational Church. Her funeral was on the same day that their original wedding was planned, and they held it in the same church that the couple planned to be married in. Heather and David's love story is one that fairy tales are made of. When Christina posted the photos of the wedding, they quickly went viral. People all over the world were touched by the love that these two people had shared. Even though this story doesn't seem to have a happy ending, for David, he says it does have a happy ending. All Heather ever wanted was to be his wife, and for 18 glorious hours she was. David and Heather's love was real. That's something that David says he will hold on to for the rest of his life. Subscribe for more.